Hi, my name is Atri and I'm the idiot who decided to make a cosplay in 1 week for a contest. I'm wearing it right now. It doesn't look the worst, but I do have some notes. I was able to sew the entire costume, but I wasn't able to adjust the wig. And so the wig doesn't have its little, like the little hair thing that pikes out on some characters. I'm cosplaying Iruma from Welcome to Demon School Iruma, if you cannot tell. It's not super popular, but like that anime is slept on, okay? Like you guys need to watch that anime because when I made my costume, I started out doing the jacket, okay? The one I'm wearing on right now. Underneath, I just have like this white shirt, like a regular white button up that I already own. The items that I made myself are the shorts, the shirt, like the overshirt, sweater, I guess, the jacket, school uniform, I made this little eye, and I made these little like flappy ribbons, and as you can see, they detach from each other. Yeah, it was hell and I'll never do that again. Probably. At least, okay, hopefully I'll never con crunch again because I will never do that to myself ever again. I hated that. Never. I did not have the time to pattern at all, and so basically what I did is I took a shirt that I already own that fits me perfectly. I laid it on top of the fabric. I cut out the shape, but I made sure to pin the shirt against the fabric, and then that's what I used for my pattern. I know it's stupid, but like when you're in a rush, and it's a really quick way to do it if you don't know how to make patterns. And I did 2 different layers. I did a darker layer for the inside of the cape, like as you can see, and then I did a lighter layer for the top because of the fact that I wanted it to feel thicker, and it's a nice thing for if I want to wear it during the winter time too. I sewed the 2 separate layers together because for the inside and outside before I ended up sewing everything, so then the inside color stays inside and nobody sees it. But when you are sewing, you do want to sew it inside out because then you can hide your seams, and so that way people don't see the seams and it looks nice and put together. My least favorite part has to be the sleeves and this little thing around the neckline. I hate doing necklines because if you plan out your neckline ahead of time, it never looks right. I mean, I suggest that you do it and measure properly, but I'm usually kind of like a deal with the situation when it arises kind of person. I measure everything else, but I leave like this part empty for the neckline till the very end because I have trouble imagining how it's gonna look like until it's actually on my body. And so I keep sewing a bit, putting it on my body, adjusting it, sewing it a bit to make sure it's perfect because I'm a little weird like that. And I'm obviously not the biggest sewer. I'm definitely a beginner, but I'm really proud of this arm sleeve. It turned out so good. My biggest advice would have to be when you are hemming something, okay, you want to fold it not once but 2 times. That way it is solid. Like this looks really good. I am so proud of myself for doing this. When it came to the convention, I only got time to do 1 button, and I decided to put it underneath the eye because of the fact that it would keep the eye standing up straight and I'd probably have less chances of it falling off. Oh, the eye. It took so hard to get the amount of layers I wanted to make it look good. You have no idea how hard that is for me. I cannot paint. I can barely draw, and so for this to turn out the way I wanted it to, that is impressive. I made it out of a styrofoam ball. I'll show you in a second. Hold on. Ta-da! And then they stick to each other, and then I put it on, and then we're great. It's perfect. I love it. Oh my god. But then I did the stupid mistake of putting Velcro to do it up together and not trying it on before the convention. Okay, to be fair, For the Velcro, I like using my sewing machine to put it on because I'm not going to be able to hand sew that. That's too much work for me. And I was kind of in a rush. And then my sewing machine got jammed multiple times when I was doing these stupid pockets. These stupid little demon pockets. And so I was just crying and bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do buttons. That's the tomorrow Adrian problem. And that was so stupid of me to do that. I should have just sewed on the buttons. Why do I hate myself? Anyway, I fixed it when I got home, so hopefully it looks better now. But like, it should have been good to begin with. I don't know what's wrong with me. These little like demon things were actually easier than it looks. As long as you cut it out the pattern the good, like the first time good, then you're set. You're set. But like, it's just a weird little shape with the little horns. I feel like for this I made it a little bulky, but like, I'm proud of it. I tried my best. It kind of looks like little socks. Then you stick it on with like the Velcro. I have Velcro on one side, and then it like it'll also stick to the fabric a little bit, and it looks like it's in the center, even though the Velcro's a little off. I wish I had a better material for this. I wish it was something thicker instead of something stretchy, because then when it's stretchy, it looks loose. For the little collar up here, I tried putting like pipe cleaners in it, and it kind of stands up a little bit, but it looks amateurish and it makes me want to cry. Last but not least, I've always had problems sewing shorts. Okay, so I know the character originally doesn't wear shorts, right? But also I was running out of material, and so I went to the people I get material from, right? And I'm like, haha, can I please have some? And they're like, no, we're out. We're out of that material. And it's not like one of those bigger fabric stores. It's like this small little fabric store, and so it's really hard to get things that you want. Instead of freaking out, I just said, I'm just gonna do shorts. It's hot out anyway. Hopefully nobody make fun of me for it. You can barely tell, but this material is also different than this material for the collar. And that's because of the fact that I also ran out of material. I'm an idiot. Why did I do this to myself? For the waistband, I did like this little, like, the same material for this. I should have made more space for my butt because I didn't realize I am caked up. I have big booty cheeks, and I did not plan for that. It's a little loose up here. And because of the fact that I planned on me having less cake, but I ended up having more cake than I was supposed to. If you think that just making the cosplay was disastrous, oh my god. Okay, so we kept trying to plan around me getting ready for the stuff once we get there. Because if I get ready ahead of time, I could ruin my outfit. And we wanted to do like a whole bunch of other stuff because we were taking the bus, and then the bus schedule is kind of weird and wonky. And so it kind of forced us to be in the area all day. And so we were doing a shit ton of bus hopping. It was crazy. There was a giant storm. Oh my god, we were so scared. Our only shelter was a bus stop that was like maybe like 3 people big kind of deal, like any more than that, and it was crowded. We tried hiding in there. The storm got super windy, and there was this little gap underneath the stall where the rain came swooshing in, soaking our shoes, and so we stepped onto the bench, and we're just trying to wait out the storm, hoping our bus would come, but it kept getting delayed, and then it kept getting delayed, and then it kept getting delayed, and now I'm freaking out because I did not get ready at all. So I'm like, oh my god, will I have enough time to get ready? Because I wanted to do the little cosplay contest, and we also wanted time to kind of look around the convention too. And so we're freaking out, and then finally the bus comes and the rain stops, and it was pretty much great all day. It was sunny and beautiful and perfect. I don't know why it rained at the worst point ever, but it did. Keep in mind, this is the first time I've ever done a contest. And I did that purposefully because it was a local convention and I was like, okay, might as well. The prizes were kind of cool and whatever. We go there. There was no way I was gonna win. There was no way. It was a small convention, right? But there's people who had like helmet wigs, like those ones where you like cut off everything and then you glue it back on. To be fair, for the beginner category, most of the people didn't make everything themselves, and I went for the beginner category because I've never done a competition before. Ever. And I was like, okay, that sounds like me. And online there was only supposed to be 3 categories. Novice, well, no, kids, novice, and then journeyman. And I was like, that's a little weird. Shouldn't there be another category for like intermediate? Because there's a huge gap in between journeyman and novice, and I'm so confused. And then we get there is another category, and I'm like, okay. But the funny part is people were competing in the wrong categories. In novice, there was like this person, okay, maybe they were beginner, maybe this was their first competition, but oh my god, their costume was fully made by themselves and it was like really, really good. And it was like perfect. And I'm like, there's no way this is their first competition. But it's not up to me to judge, okay? Maybe it was their first competition, maybe whatever. But then something even funnier is that in like either the intermediate or journeyman category, there was this dude in like this dinosaur costume. You know, like those like crappy blow up ones? The ones that are obviously not handmade. Why was he competing in that section? That doesn't make any sense at all. Obviously, didn't win. That's fine. The people who won in beginner were like insanely differently better than anyone else. Like there was no way anyone else could compete with that. And that's fine. I'm happy with that. I literally made this in a week. So there were people who spent like a year on their costumes, and I was just like, I'll throw something together. I am so surprised. I've got recognized 3 times for a character that's like relatively obscure, I'd say. And so that was really cool. 2 of them were vendors, and one of them, they recognized the character, looked familiar, but they don't actually know or seen any of the media. I met a lot of cool cosplayers, but the problem is that I don't know if they want me to post their stuff, and so I feel like scared to, but like there's this really cool cosplayer for Cardcaptor Sakura, and I was like, oh my god, I love that show. I am a tree. Don't make a cosplay in 1 week. Please don't, unless you hate yourself. And have a good night, afternoon, or wherever you're from. Subscribe for more videos, cosplay, or like anime essay commentary. I suck at outros. I suck at outros so bad. Sorry.